Aston Martin are actively hunting for Adrian Newey's replacement as team principal, following the AMR26's disastrous start to the 2026 season, according to leading F1 insider Antonio Lobato. Just 4 months after Newey took on the team principal role in what was supposed to mark a new era for the Silverstone-based team, the experiment appears to be over. The AMR26's catastrophic vibration problems have exposed a leadership crisis at Aston Martin, and sources suggest Lawrence Stroll is already looking for someone new to take the reins, while Newey returns to what he does best, designing cars. The situation at Aston Martin right now is genuinely shocking. This isn't just a slow car or a team struggling for performance. This is a complete technical disaster that's threatening the health of their drivers. Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll have both warned they fear permanent nerve damage from the violent vibrations coming through the Honda power unit. The car can't finish races. Mirrors are falling off, taillights are falling off, and the performance deficit is so massive that Cadillac, a brand new team in their debut season, is putting half a second per lap on Aston Martin just on the straights alone. Antonio Lobato dropped the bombshell during a recent broadcast when he revealed what's happening behind closed doors at Aston Martin. "There is a lack of leadership at Aston Martin right now," Lobato said. "I know for a fact that they are looking for a new team principal. Newey doesn't act as team principal. In fact, he shouldn't act as team principal. He is good at what he is good at." That's about as damning an assessment as you can get. Lobato isn't speculating or throwing out theories. He's stating as fact that Aston Martin are actively searching for Newey's replacement. But here's the truly staggering part. The performance gap isn't just bad, it's historically embarrassing for a team that spent hundreds of millions building a state-of-the-art facility and hired the greatest designer in Formula One history. Lobato revealed the extent of Aston Martin's Honda power unit problems. Cadillac was putting half a second on Aston Martin in the straights every lap. The gap is between 1.5 and 2 seconds, just in the straights. The Honda engine's power deficit is way above 50 horsepower. In qualifying, they run the engine at 75%, and in the race at 50%. Let that sink in. Aston Martin's Honda power unit is so unreliable and so far behind the competition that they can't even run it at full capacity. They're running at 3/4 power in qualifying and half power in races just to try and make it to the finish line. Even then, they're barely making it. Alonso retired from the Australian Grand Prix on lap 37, unable to complete the race distance because the vibrations were so severe. Stroll managed to finish but was not classified, crossing the line 15 laps behind. In China, both drivers retired, Alonso on lap 32 due to vibrations causing him to lose feeling in his hands and feet, and Stroll on lap 9 with a suspected battery issue. This isn't a development problem or a setup issue. This is a fundamental engineering failure that's left Aston Martin completely uncompetitive. If you want to stay updated on every twist and turn of Aston Martin's leadership crisis and how this situation develops over the coming weeks, make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on. We're tracking every development as one of F1's most expensive projects threatens to fall apart before the season even gets going. The root cause of all this chaos is the Honda power unit. The vibrations from the battery pack are so severe that they're being transmitted through Newey's extremely stiff chassis design straight into the drivers. Newey admitted as much in Melbourne when he explained that the Honda engine is acting as an amplifier of vibrations, while the chassis is the receiver. But that explanation doesn't quite capture the full picture. Yes, the Honda power unit is generating the vibrations, but Newey's ultra-stiff chassis design, a philosophy he brought from his championship-winning Red Bull cars, is amplifying those vibrations rather than absorbing them. Sources suggest Honda has asked Newey to consider softening the suspension setup to help reduce the vibrations while they work on fixing the root cause in the power unit. But this creates a fundamental problem. Newey's design philosophy for the AMR26 was built around an extremely stiff chassis and tight packaging to maximize aerodynamic performance. Softening the suspension compromises the entire concept of the car. It's not a simple fix, it's a fundamental redesign that would take months to implement properly. And this is where Newey's tenure as team principal has apparently fallen apart. His handling of the Honda situation has created friction between Aston Martin and their works engine partner. There are reports that Lawrence Stroll now regrets hiring Newey to be team principal in the first place. The role requires someone who can manage relationships with partners like Honda, handle media responsibilities, interface with the FIA, and present a united front when things go wrong. Newey is a brilliant engineer and car designer, but he's not a politician or a public relations expert. His blunt assessments of the Honda power unit's failures, however accurate they might be, have made an already difficult situation even worse. Lobato spelled out exactly what Aston Martin needs in their next team principal. They should look for someone who does that role. The one who shows his face, the one who defends the team, the one who faces the media, the one who faces the rest of the teams, the one who has to interact with the FIA, with the FOM. That's a job description that doesn't fit Adrian Newey at all. He's a technical genius who belongs in the design office, not the team principal's office managing political relationships and handling crisis communications. So what happens to Newey once Aston Martin finds his replacement? The most likely scenario is that he returns to his original role as managing technical partner, focusing purely on car design and technical development. This makes sense for several reasons. First, Fernando Alonso has publicly praised the chassis design of the AMR26. The aerodynamic concept is innovative and aggressive. The problem isn't Newey's car, it's the Honda power unit that the car was designed around. If you could drop a Mercedes or Ferrari power unit into the AMR26 tomorrow, you'd probably have a much more competitive package. Second, Aston Martin paid an absolute fortune to bring Newey on board. Reports suggested his contract was worth up to £150 million when you factor in salary, bonuses, and equity in the team. You don't write off that kind of investment after 4 months just because the team principal experiment didn't work out. Lawrence Stroll will want to salvage something from this situation, and keeping Newey focused on car design is the obvious solution. Third, letting Newey leave entirely would be a disaster for Aston Martin. He'd immediately become the most sought-after free agent in Formula One. Imagine Newey joining Mercedes or McLaren, or even returning to Red Bull. The PR nightmare alone would be catastrophic for Aston Martin, let alone the competitive implications of having F1's greatest designer working for a rival team. No, Stroll will do everything possible to keep Newey at Aston Martin in some capacity, even if it means admitting the team principal role was a mistake. The timeline of how Aston Martin got into this mess is worth examining. Newey joined Aston Martin in March 2025 as managing technical partner after leaving Red Bull. At the time, it was positioned as a technical role focused on designing the 2026 car under the new regulations. But in November 2025, just 8 months after he arrived, Aston Martin announced a leadership restructure. Andy Cowell, who had been CEO and team principal, moved to a new role as Chief Strategy Officer. Newey was promoted to team principal, combining it with his existing managing technical partner responsibilities. It was a surprising move at the time. Newey had never been a team principal in his entire Formula One career, spanning back to the 1980s. He'd always been the technical genius behind the scenes, not the public face of the team. But Lawrence Stroll clearly believed that giving Newey complete control over both the technical direction and team management would allow him to build Aston Martin in his image without interference. The theory was sound. The execution has been a complete disaster. Part of the problem is that Newey came into the project late. By the time he started work in March 2025, other teams had already been developing their 2026 cars for months. Aston Martin didn't get a model into the wind tunnel until mid-April 2025, approximately 4 months behind their rivals. That compressed development timeline meant Newey had to make aggressive design choices without the luxury of extensive testing and refinement. The ultra-stiff chassis, the tight packaging around the Honda power unit, the extreme aerodynamic solutions. These were all calculated risks based on limited data and time. When those risks didn't pay off and the Honda power unit problems emerged, Newey found himself in an impossible position as team principal. He couldn't fix the fundamental issue because it was with Honda's engine, not his chassis. But as team principal, he was the public face of the team and had to answer for the failures in the media. His technical honesty about the problems, explaining the vibrations, admitting the power deficit, acknowledging the reliability issues, was refreshing from an engineering perspective but politically disastrous. It made Honda look incompetent and created tension in what should have been a collaborative partnership between Aston Martin and their works engine supplier. The situation has deteriorated so badly that Newey wasn't even present at the Chinese Grand Prix. Aston Martin issued a statement saying it was always planned for him to split his time between races and working at the factory in Silverstone, similar to how Andy Cowell operated as team principal the previous year. But the timing, right after the Australian Grand Prix disaster and amid reports of a team principal search, made his absence look like he was being kept away from the media spotlight while Aston Martin figured out their next move. Antonio Lobato's revelation that Aston Martin are actively looking for a new team principal confirms what many suspected. This isn't a situation that's going to improve with time. The Honda power unit problems are fundamental and will take months to resolve, if they can be resolved at all, within the constraints of homologated 2026 regulations. The chassis design issues stemming from Newey's stiff concept are similarly deep-rooted, and the leadership vacuum at Aston Martin, with Newey not acting as a traditional team principal and no one else stepping up to fill that role, is creating chaos at exactly the moment the team needs clear direction and strong management. Lawrence Stroll's dream of turning Aston Martin into a championship-contending team has turned into a nightmare. The hundreds of millions invested in facilities, personnel, and Adrian Newey was supposed to pay off in 2026 when the regulations reset gave everyone a chance to start fresh. Instead, Aston Martin find themselves at the back of the grid with a car that can't finish races and a team principal who, by all accounts, shouldn't be team principal at all. The hunt for Newey's replacement is on, and whoever takes that job will inherit one of the biggest messes in modern Formula One history.